Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma for those of you who are new, and I would love it if you guys subscribed and stuck around. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be having a TBR dice to choose the books that I read for the month of April. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay guys, I have these little wooden TBR dice. I got these from a Barnes & Noble near me, but I'll try and find them online and I'll link them down below if they have them. But they're like these little wooden dice and they have different genres on them and different little prompts that we can choose from. So I'm very excited to use these to choose my TBR this month. I'm pretty busy this month, so I think I'm just gonna choose 5 books. So we're gonna roll these 5 times and see what prompt we get. I have a lot of fun books that I want to choose from because I have a lot of new books and new releases and just new to me books that I still need to haul for you guys. So stay tuned for a big book haul that will be coming soon. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, but let's have these TBR dice choose the books that I read this month. Okay, I have both of my dice here. I think I'm gonna roll this one first. It has a bunch of genres on it, so let's see what we can get. It's not focusing, but looks like our first genre is romance. So let's go over to our TBR pile and our bookshelves and see what romance books we can choose. Okay, so you guys know I have a lot of romance books on my TBR, and there are so many that I am excited about. New releases, just ones that I've already had on my TBR as well, but I think I'm gonna eye the kind of like newer releases over here that I have. Well, not really new releases, just ones that are new to me that I still haven't hauled for you guys, so this will kind of be a sneak peek of that book haul. So I'm currently in the middle of this book. So I started this like literally 2 months ago, and I'm honestly contemplating DNFing, but I still kind of want to finish this. So I have The Charlie Method by Elle Kennedy. I was so excited about this because Elle Kennedy, like I've mentioned in many videos previously, is my guilty pleasure author. I even got this signed by her, but I don't think I'm going to choose that one because I'm currently in the middle of reading it. I'm also currently in the middle of Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. I am so excited to finish this, but I just can't bring myself to actually read it and keep going because I don't want the series to end. So some other romance books that are kind of on my radar. Let's see. You Between the Lines by Katie Naiman. I haven't heard many people talk about this, but it has a blurb on the front by Jessica Joyce, Kate Goldbeck, and Peyton Karen. And this one just sounds really, really cute. It's like an enemies to lovers or like rivals to lovers, and they're both like authors or something like that. So that one sounds really cute. Also over here, I have Picking Daisies on Sundays, which I've had for a few months now, honestly probably closer to a year, and this is by Liana Sincotti, and this would be perfect for the springtime, I feel like. And this is a romance as well, and I've heard really good things about this one. This is a closed door romance set in New York City. I also have Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I've never read anything by Cara Bastone. I'm not sure all of the books that she has in her repertoire, but I've heard really good things about Promise Me Sunshine as well, so that one is a top contender too. And then I do have First Time Caller by BK Morrison. I got this in a book of the month box. I signed up because I really wanted that stinking book person hat, and yeah, I've heard really good things about this one as well. I'm just not sure if I'm in the mood to read this one just yet. I'm trying to decide between these two. I think I'm gonna go with Picking Daisies on Sundays though, just because this one has been on my TBR for longer, and I feel like this one is perfect for the springtime. Just this cover is stunning. So I think for our first prompt, I'm going to choose Picking Daisies on Sundays. Okay, I'm gonna switch it up this time and choose from this one. This one doesn't have genres on it. It has like other little prompts like reread, TBR pile, library, that sort of thing. So, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I got reread for this one. I have no clue what book I want to reread, so this is going to be very interesting. Also, my shelves aren't organized, so my rereads could be anywhere in my shelves, so we'll go over there and see what books I can reread. Okay, so I really don't reread books very often. If I do, it has to be a book that I absolutely love, or one that I maybe read like years and years and years ago that I don't really remember too much. So a lot of the books that I would technically want to reread are either from like my childhood or nostalgic books, or just one that maybe I read a couple years ago that I really love. The first thing that comes to mind for me is Emily Henry. I've been like itching to reread one of her books, so I kind of want to reread like Happy Place or Beach Read. I read Beach Read like 4 or 5 years ago, and I read Happy Place just a couple years ago, so I would probably want to reread Beach Read. But Happy Place is one of my favorite books of all time, and I feel like this is the perfect time, like end of spring, early summer, to reread that kind of book. So I'm not really sure what I want to do. This one is honestly calling my name, but I did just choose a romance book, so we're gonna table that, maybe choose that one. And then the next book that I'm thinking of is a YA mystery thriller, but I just read this series like not even a year ago, a little over a year ago, so that is The Naturals, but it's a series, so if I reread the first one, I'm gonna want to reread all of them, and I feel like these are still pretty fresh in my mind. But I do love these books so much, but like I said, I did just read that like not that long ago, so I don't really know if I want to reread that. The only other ones that I'm thinking of, Harry Potter series, but again, it's a series, I don't really know if I want to like reread that. But then the other one is the Twilight Saga. I've got these beautiful covers, and for me, this would be like an actual like reread, because I have not read these books since probably like middle school or high school, and I know it's not like hoa hoa season, like Twilight is very like fall winter vibes, but I don't know. I feel like what's more fitting? Like this is perfect for like the fall, right? But I did just recently rewatch all the movies, so maybe I reread the books. I don't know. What should I do? But I think I'm gonna do Happy Place, guys. I think I have to do Happy Place. Like my heart and soul is calling me to this book, and I've been wanting to reread this book like for a long time, not just this video, not just this prompt. So I think we're gonna choose Happy Place by Emily Henry, a book that I hold very near and dear to my heart, and maybe I'll annotate it this time. Okay, next up I'm gonna do the genre one again, so let's see. Okay, I got romance again, but we're gonna choose another one first so we can kind of give some variety, and then if we get romance again later, that's fine too. I got romance again. I got it again. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. I got romance again. Oh my gosh. That's like 5 times in a row. So should we choose another romance book? Okay, we'll choose another romance book. It wasn't my fault. You guys saw that the dice just kept rolling for romance, so I have to choose another romance book. I'm feeling like a newer one, if I'm being honest, so we're gonna head back over to my new pile. I think I'm just being drawn to all the books that I bought lately, and until I organize my shelves properly, which we'll do in another video, I'm just not really drawn to any of the books that are on my shelves right now, just because they're like in just such a state of disarray, and none of them are organized. So I'm like, I don't even want to look. I don't even want to look over there. Okay, so let's go over here again. Okay, so I don't really know what kind of romance book I'm feeling. If I'm being honest, I do want to choose Magnolia Parks, but I'm already in the middle of reading that book, so I don't really think that's fair to choose it. But I have these books by 831 Publishing, I believe, and they are the tiniest books ever. I have Big Fan, Hardly Strangers, and Comedic Timing, and these are romance books, but they are so short, and I think a lot of them are set in New York City, question mark. Yeah, so I don't really know much about these books. I haven't heard anyone talk about these, but I think they're just like short modern day romances about like people in their 20s or their 30s and living in big cities, like meet cutes, hookups, that sort of thing. Just everything a lot of people go through in their 20s and 30s. So I kind of want to read one of these. So let me read the description on these and see which one. Okay, so Big Fan is a political strategist, her former boy band crush, and what happens when teenage yearnings take a very adult and very sexy turn. Okay, maybe we're gonna read that one and fulfill my Harry Styles boy band fantasy. And then this one is for fans of How to Fake It in Hollywood and Before Sunrise, a romance about how a chance encounter can rewrite a story and change everything. And then Comedic Timing is he's so off type that her attraction to him fuels an identity crisis, a steamy romance for fans of You Again and Never Have I Ever. I think I'm feeling this one, if I'm being honest, and it's very, very short, so I have no excuses not to read this one this month. But this is Big Fan by Alexandra Romanov. I'm gonna try and film a reading vlog for all of these books and post it for you guys by the end of April, but very excited about this one, and I could probably finish this like on my lunch break at work. So that is the next one for romance. The whole point of these dice were to get different genres, but I mean, the dice are playing for themselves. So we're gonna go to the next one. We're gonna switch it out for the fourth book that we choose. Guys, this is so out of my comfort zone. Audiobook. Oh my god. Ugh, I've never listened to an audiobook before, like ever. If you know me, you know I don't listen to audiobooks. I'm not an audiobook fanatic. I've never even listened to an audiobook in my life. But my bestie did give me her Audible like login info like a couple months ago, and I still have not taken her up on this offer. So let me see if I'm still logged in. Okay, I am. Most of her recent ones are Sarah J. Maas, but there is one book that I've really been wanting to read. Okay, are you guys ready for this? I think I'm gonna choose Fourth Wing, which I know I'm like 3 years late, but the graphic audio version, which has like sound effects and all of that fun stuff, like also like cinematic music. So it'll kind of be like I am watching a movie, but really just listening to one. So maybe that will help me get into the swing of things. I've had this book on my TBR for like close to 3 years now. 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years. I don't know, but I feel like it's time. So yeah, maybe I will play this. Like instead of listening to music this week while I'm working from home, I'll play the Fourth Wing dramatized adaptation graphic audio with full cast, cinematic music, and sound effects. So we'll see if I get the hype around Fourth Wing. Like the longer I put it off, the longer I just want to unhaul it off my freaking shelves so I don't have to read it ever. But I feel like I just have like FOMO, like I need to be in the loop. So that's the one we're gonna choose for the audiobook. So fingers crossed I get around to it. It's not at the top of my list. Okay, I know I said I was only gonna choose 5 books, but I'm gonna roll both of the dice for this last one and then choose one from each that it lands on. So okay, the dice have spoken. So I'm gonna buy new, but really I'm just gonna go to my haul pile because I have a lot of new books over there and new releases, so we can kind of choose what we want over there. And then I have fantasy and sci-fi. You guys know I don't read a whole lot of fantasy or science fiction. So since I already have all of these new books, there is no reason for me to go to the bookstore. I haven't even hauled these books for you yet, so we're not gonna buy a new book, but there is a new-ish release that just came out on April 1st that I finally have in my possession, and I am so freaking excited about it. I bought it on the day that it released, so now I'm filming the April TBR, but that is none other than The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. We have to read this book this month. I am so freaking excited about it. I can't even. I will ramble on for ages, but I think this is the book that we're gonna read first whenever I film a reading vlog this month. I'm so excited. This cover is also so stunning. I love how floppy the book is. I'm just so excited. I hope this transports me into the world of Magnolia Parks, or transports me how the world of Magnolia Parks did. And I'm pretty sure this is like a crossover and it takes place in the same time frame, if I'm not mistaken. Like I remember someone named Georgia in MPU. We shall see. And then I went ahead and chose the science fiction and fantasy book off camera. The one that I wanted to read was Sunrise on the Reaping, but since I've only read the first book in the Hunger Games series way back in middle school, I want to go back and read all of them. Definitely let me know if you want a reading vlog on that. I have only seen the first 2 movies and I've only read the first book. And like I said, that was ages and ages and ages ago. So technically it would be like I was reading the Hunger Games for the first time. So I'm not going to choose Sunrise on the Reaping because I have to fill myself in on all of the other books. And then the only other book that I wanted to read right now, at least that was on my radar, but sci-fi and fantasy, is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I still have not read that series. I have both Powerless and Reckless, and I know Fearless just came out. So definitely want to read that sometime, but this book is actually on my radar right now. I think this is getting traditionally published, so I found the indie copy. at Books A Million. So that is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. One thing about me is that I could not tell you a single thing or plotline of this book. Like, I have no clue what this book is about. I'm kind of going in blind. I've just heard people like say like, oh, this is a good book, I'm gonna buy it. Like, this is your chance to buy it before it's traditionally published, and like this cover goes away, which this cover is so stunning. The only thing that I know is people describe this as a dark romantasy meets like a gothic horror kind of book. I don't really know. I don't know. I've never read a lot of dark romance. I don't really read a whole lot of romantasy either. But yeah, this is the last book that we're gonna choose. I'm choosing this for science fiction and fantasy. So let's do a little rapid fire recap of all the books that I chose to read for April, thanks to my handy dandy TBR dice. So I chose Picking Daisies on Sundays by Liana Cincotti. Happy Place by Emily Henry. This one is a reread that I am so freaking excited about. Stay tuned for my thoughts on this because I'm pretty sure I've never really shared my thoughts about Happy Place on this channel before, but it is one of my favorite books. Another romance, but a very, very short and sweet one. I have Big Fan by Alexandra Romanov, and this one I feel like is going to fulfill all of my fangirl fantasies, so we shall see. Stay tuned for my thoughts. Then I have probably one of my most anticipated releases of the year, The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. Bet your bottom dollar that there will be a reading blog featuring this by the end of the month, so stay tuned for that. And then we chose Fourth Wing, the first book in the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros, as our audiobook. Hopefully that graphic audio with the cinematic music and the sound effects will kind of convert me into an audiobook gal, but we shall see. And then a book that I know absolutely nothing about, haven't really heard many people talk about, but I chose for our fantasy and sci-fi is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll link these down below if I can find them. That was honestly really fun. 10 out of 10 recommend these, and if I didn't have all those like new books, I feel like it would have been so fun to roll the buy new prompt and like get in the car and drive to Barnes. There's also a library option on there, which I still need to go sign up for a library card in our new city, even though we've lived here for a year. There's also a secondhand option, which is really cool because I do have a lot of books that I've thrifted, so that would kind of be a cool prompt to get. But let me know if you enjoyed today's video. I will definitely do more TBR videos in the future. It's just been a crazy year. Stay tuned for a bookshelf organization video as well because these shelves need some love. They need some work. And then stay tuned for a little reading vlog for all the books that I chose for my April TBR. 5 books, I think we can do it. I'm spending a lot of time like road tripping this month and working from home and just relaxing for a lot of it because Easter, family weekend, that sort of thing. So we'll see how many books you can read this month or if I read any additional. So stay tuned for a reading vlog and a wrap up. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.